Welcome to Fan TV and Chill, what would be week 30. Of course, it's not. We all know what's happened with the Premier League and the coronavirus and everything else. So this week, there's no matches for us to review, but it's upsetting. It's upsetting. Some of it, we've been struggling out here. No football, don't know what to do, don't know how to live life. But
shit.
Anyway, feel like shit, yeah.
Bro, it's the glue that's... Sports is the glue that sticks certain man together. That's what I'm saying.
Like some of us out here, like I was dying for the Premier League to just finish. I was dying to see Liverpool lift up the Premier League. I was just waiting to see Liverpool lift up the Premier League so we can get on to the next season. But obviously, at the moment, they can't do that. It's mad. It's mad. And this is what happens when Liverpool win the Premier League. But we'll get onto that anyway. We're gonna have a look how we think the Premier League should end. In what way would be fair to end the Premier League so all the teams don't lose out basically. So obviously I'm quite happy with where my team are in the league if it finishes. It's only right we start with the main man, because at the moment he's sitting in a position where they could lose the league. So it's only right we start with a team sitting first place in the Premier League this week. So Bilala, how do you think we should? How do you think the Premier League should be finished?
I like the fact you still acknowledge, man. Yeah, thank you for that. I still get to speak first, even though.
You still get to speak first. You still get to speak first.
Why are you jumping? Just let me talk. Calm down.
I'm just saying you get to speak first.
Why are you repeating what I'm just saying? What is your point? Like, if you're gonna speak, bring something that's got a context, that's got relevance. Don't just speak for the sake of it. You know what I mean? Just calm down, pipe. You know what I mean? Like,
I know.
Yeah. So anyway, like, yeah. So interesting time in it, mad, and yeah. Of all the team, it had to be Liverpool, innit? It had to be Liverpool, where, you know, after all the hardship, and then they finally get there. They technically won the league.
You man always slip up. You always slip up.
Man,
we slip up.
We said we were running
okay.
out of time, and then
I'm just saying you always slip up.
You want me to give my opinion of, and let me gather my thoughts and give answer to the question that we want to put out. Don't just come with nonsense.
Okay. But it's true. You always slip up.
Like, it's dumb. Like, we've grown in it. Like, come on, man. You can have banter aside here, but if someone is about to give context to something, just don't disrupt their flow, because you're not really adding anything. That's just dumbness. You know what I mean? So anyway, like, I've literally lost my trail of thought. I don't even know what.
Do you want somebody else to talk? I'm still gonna talk. Okay. You know what I mean. I won't run out of bars and it's calm. I'll find things to say, but I'm just saying, calm down. I mean, anyway, like, yeah, it had to be us. Like, obviously, yeah, like 30 years. You're thinking, yeah, we've got the league, everything secured. We won. The league was wrapped up a long while, and our mistake really, we let ourselves down against the Watford game, because I'm not too sure whether if we beat Watford, whether that would have been the league would have been wrapped up, considering City lost. Maybe it would have been just the one game left in it. Maybe. I don't think it still would have been wrapped up anyway. But I think, yeah, the real question here, because we just wanted to keep this conversation kind of brief. So the current debate, obviously everybody knows about the current climate. We know what coronavirus is and how much of an impact it's having on society, let alone, obviously on a bigger scale, is more individual people, lives, madness. But obviously sports is still, something that, yes, it is a distraction, but we are quite passionate about what teams that we support, etc. But I mean, the main question is, like, banter aside, innit? Obviously, like, it's anticipated, it's boring. Like, certain people, you already know certain people only have one line and one line. Alright, get to the point. How do you think the league should end? Get to the point.
Do you want to speak for me? You want to speak for me?
I'm waiting for you to get to the point.
What have you fed him on the way here?
You just started saying, jokes aside, let's get serious, and you're like, we already know certain people, rah. Chatting shit.
Damien is Jamaican, by the way. They came together. I don't know. For you stereotype. My bro is moving a little bit. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Have you got something to say?
Wow, man,
Have you got something to say? What have you done to this guy?
No, I'm asking, are you done talking?
Yeah, like literally, I'm lost. I don't even know what. Certain man we know they have one joke and one joke only. But I think the thing about me, yes, I've got a decent sense of humor. But I think if I've heard one joke once, I've heard it twice, I've heard it 10 times, I get easily bored as well. So I mean, I wouldn't rise to it because there's no value to it. It's a bit like, okay, what else have you got to say? And if you haven't got anything to say, you might as well let me talk for you because you've only got one line and one line only. So calm the fuck down.
What's that one line, fam? Money in the bank.
But anyway,
Money in the bank.
But
Money in the bank.
Again, like you know,
money in the bank, £100 in the bank.
Yeah, fine. Which will come to that, I'm sure. You know what I mean? But anyway, so like you know, like
one liner.
The current situation now, obviously, the big debate being that's the league and what is the best thing to do and like the best way to kind of finish the season, etc. I think obviously you hear people, you know, there's been an example. I think the main person to come out and say their piece is like I think Karen Brady for West Ham saying, "Oh, the league should be null and void." I mean, which fair enough, innit? Like everybody's entitled to their own opinion. Like every club would have their own stance on things because they want to protect their own interests. But fine. But yes, I've 100%. I've got my own bias. Like yeah, I'm biased towards my team, of course. Like I'm gonna think of that. That's a bit of a madness. But another point that I'm gonna make in line with that is like, yo, if between going null and void and saying take the season as it is, there's a stronger argument to take a season as it is on the basis where you've played 30 games. Yeah, these are human beings that, yeah, the trainings, the stress of the game, 30 games, 75% of the league has been played, all that effort, and then you have the audacity or the selfishness to say, okay, because I think my team was lingering in a relegation battle, and we've been shit, so I'm gonna discredit all the hard work of all the other teams, which doesn't really sit too right with me because I think that's just selfish and unfair. Yes, I am biased, of course. Yes, I want Liverpool to win the league. Yes, yeah, fine. But again, I'm old enough to know that, like, you know, everyone can have their own opinion in it, and I've got morals, and I like to be fair in terms of I appreciate what's good, and that sports is about that. I think one thing they try to show it, and that's going to be a big test as well to say, okay, where is the fairness in those individuals, those players, because that's their dream, that's their job. At the end of the day, it's like you're this close to winning the league, and you effectively killed Liverpool for next season because morally it's going to be practically impossible for them to come back and have anywhere near as good as. Let me talk.
Okay. Just remember, it's a pandemic, yeah. It's not an unusual case, but carry on.
It's unusual, but there's other measures that can be put in place to acknowledge, because the majority, if it was 10 games in, it's an easy conversation, null and void, fine.
So you're saying you want the season to end now?
If there was an argument between the two, you could null and void doesn't really have that much weight versus the season being put on hold now, yeah. But and again, there's other things going on. Is like, you know, how is it fair that, you know, teams that are in a relegation, that can have implication this way, the championship. So either way, I don't think there's those two things, or, you know, those two.
So you're saying if there's a null and void and then the season ends now and you get your position you are in now, is that what you want to say?
But they're not gonna get it because you can't.
Is that what you want to say?
No,
is that what you're,
no, those.
You're
You couldn't. I would say it. No. I'm saying if you had a choice between null and void, and the season ended now, I would say, based on fairness, the season ending now it sounds a better proposition, but even then it's still not perfect because it's like technically, mathematically, you've
why would you say? Okay. So you saying that the season ends now and null and void. Why are you saying that the season ends now?
Yeah,
is a better option.
Yeah.
Why?
Imagine you go to work. You work for 3 weeks. Yeah. You get paid in a week time. Some madness happens in the company. Yeah. You've got bills to pay. You put all your energy
You've done all whatever you have to done, committed. You wake up early, and then the manager says, you know what, because of X and Y reasons, I'm not gonna pay you. How would you feel?
But you know what? Why that argument doesn't hold up? Because all them weeks Liverpool have been playing, if they finish based on league position, Liverpool players, and I know you weren't basing it on money, Liverpool will still get paid money for finishing where they're finished.
How am I basing on?
I know you're not basing it on money, I just said that, but
but
Liverpool would still get a cut. But what I'm saying is, like you said a minute ago,
you understand
mathematically,
did you
I understand.
my question?
I understand.
No, you
Yes, I did.
Because
You're saying, based on the amount of games and work Liverpool have put in to be where they are, they should be given the league alone on that. Is that what you're saying?
No, they shouldn't be given the league. I haven't said that.
They shouldn't be given the
They
league.
shouldn't be.
But isn't that the point you're making without the boss up? So what point were you making?
Because my question was directed at him, and let him answer the question. Then I can come to you.
Yeah.
Because you.
I swear he just answered the question and then he came back to you.
Answered the question. He hasn't even spoken because you jumped in. I'm not saying because I wouldn't sit here and want Liverpool to be given the league if they haven't won it. Like mathematically made it impossible. 100% no way. Of course not. Because and again, it's like nothing gets handed. It has to be won, and they have to get the point on board to say, okay, the league is finished, is wrapped up, and that's the only way, and that's the only fair way. I can never be here and be like, oh, give us the league, because why are they giving us the league? You know what I mean? Who's not to say we might go on a run and lose X amount of games and not win the league? So that's not even something that's crossing my mind. But my point is about fairness, like just being you again. I'll throw that question to you. Like you go to work now, 3 weeks, something happens to your company. Imagine all that effort, and then they say, for whatever reason, we're not gonna pay you. I'm not basing it on their pay. I'm basing on the fact that you've done all the hardship, you've done all the thing. How would you feel? Would you not?
That's different.
How is that different?
That's different.
It's a different question, but
that's
how
different because if okay, when you work for a company, you get paid. Most people get paid every 4 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So what you're basically saying is, I've worked for 3 weeks, but
they say no
because
pay.
I've worked.
They say no
but
pay.
what you're saying is, I've worked for 3 weeks. Yeah. Yeah. But really, I should normally work for 4 weeks to get full pay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they say they're gonna give you no pay.
What you're saying
In that full 3 weeks.
Yeah, for that 3 weeks, I should get my pay because I've worked.
Exactly. That's what I said. But they say they're gonna give you no pay. That's my point. How would you feel?
That's
the question.
That is unfair.
Exactly. That's all I've said.
Yeah.
So why are you going off tangent?
So then go on to your next point.
Did you answer that question?
The question in regards to what you were saying about if it should, what my thoughts on the answer to the question, what I feel like.
Yeah.
I feel both sides, both the null and void and the end of the season are both for me.
No, that's not the question. You were asking something else.
The job scenario thing, yeah. I'm just saying, how would you feel? How would you feel treated if they say you've done all of that, 3 weeks, no pay?
I'm not getting paid.
Yeah. There you go. Because it's not fair. It's not right. So why on the other side is like?
Technically speaking, I don't know what Willis is saying when I was walking out, but that's what your example doesn't reflect the example of the league, how it is, because because you're judging it on. So what basically you're kind of what I gather, you're judging it on. What you're saying is kind of like you put it as in Liverpool, as in they've worked so hard, and then that's going to get scratched. Is that what you're going to say?
That's their job.
Yeah.
No, but what's your conclusion to it? That's what we're trying to figure out.
I'm just going with the fairness side of it.
Yeah, but okay, let's go with the fairness. Then. What's the conclusion to that fairness?
I'm just
making
making
a point. The only problem with
obviously
ending the season and giving Liverpool the title, which is the other team. What's going to happen with Aston Villa?
I never said giving. I was just making a point because giving the Liverpool.
But if you end the season now,
I'm comparing. I'm saying if you were to say which one is a bit more fairer. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm not saying give Liverpool no way. Of course not.
Okay, but you've made that point. Yeah. Now, bringing it back to football, what were you using that point for?
You see now. The reason, the real meanings of and why I'm asking these questions is kind of being lost is because you're jumping in there. You're missing my points. I'm just making. I'm making you compare two things, innit?
Yeah, we are comparing two things.
And I'm making you put yourself
in the shoe of those Liverpool like athletes, call them that, yeah. And then this, I'm only looking at it from a Liverpool point of view. I'm not even considering the other team, because the other team will feel equally the same, isn't it? It's like, okay, if we still got a chance to stay in the league, why are you telling us to go down? It's not fair. Like, the fairness side of it, nothing of the two, nothing can be fair. But if there was only those two options, which one is has a bit more like weight? I'm going with the season. The majority of the season has been played. At least there you can say, well, 30 games is tough. But anyway, let me just end it there and give my viewpoint and say what
when you end it, I want to add one more thing to that when you end it. Yeah.
Fine, okay. What do I think it needs to happen? I think it's almost like it's a similar theme to what everybody's saying now, or what a good amount of people that have. This league has to finish, and however, whenever they have to, this pandemic kind of settles down, and we return to some sort of normality, and whether it's behind closed doors, because they can't hand us the league. The league has to be completed, and it has to be made mathematically impossible. And as a fan, I wouldn't accept that, because it would just feel like, what the fuck? Why are you giving us the league? So you guys can have something to cheer about? Of course not. And it has to be done. So once that's done, and it makes it fair for everyone, because the relegation battles is done. Sheffield United, 5th in the league. Do you think they're gonna finish 5th in the league next season? If you scrap the league and you say, and all those rewards, and it's just not right. Yeah. It's not right. It's not fair. So it has to be completed, and then whenever the next season starts, we go again and we start fresh. And that's just that, basically. I've spoken too long anyway.
What I was going to say was a quick one, just want to say, because I feel you might not agree with it, but my personal opinion, with the two factors of voiding the season and ending the season, there's overall, in my opinion, there's more benefit in null and voiding it over just ending the season. From if you go from team to team, if you judge those two, in my opinion, if you judge those two factors, I think there's more of a plus in null and void. Not that I'm saying I want to null and void it, because if it's my personal opinion, I'd want the season to be finished. But judging by the two factors that were put in place, which we brought up, there's more benefit for me, I feel like, from null and voiding it than it would be to end it. Because there's just, when you end it, there's those questions still being asked. Yeah. But when you null and void it, it doesn't benefit you, and it doesn't benefit other teams that are already sitting in Champions League spots, and it doesn't benefit teams that are sitting in relegation spots right now. But if you null and void it, you man of X, the teams that are going down are X. So
obviously, if you null and void it, has a knock-on effect on the lower teams. So there's a chain of event there. So you can't.
But it's but I feel like the chain of effect, the chain of effect is more so if you end it, you get more of a chain of effect, which is a negative for more teams than it would be a negative if you null and void it. Because like I said, if you null and void it, it's affecting you. It's affecting the teams that are going to get relegated. Sorry, no, if you null and void it, it affects you because you don't win the league. But then that's it. Let's be honest.
The teams below.
Yeah, so and obviously the teams that below that get promoted. All the teams are leading or going to get promoted. It will affect them. But then if you null and void it, it only would affect you and the teams below that are leading.
The players.
And the players. It only affects them. But if you end it, it affects you. So if you null and void it, it affects you. The teams that are below that are going to get promoted.
And don't forget, there's more than just the Premier League Championship.
Yeah, no, I'm saying. But I'm saying there's more. That's what I'm saying. There's more teams that will be affected if you just stop it, because.
I think they just have to complete the season anyhow. Before the next one starts, whenever that's gonna be, like the season has to end, and that's the only fair way. And I don't think there's any other way really to kind of.
Anyway, moving on. Me personally, scrap the league, avoid everything, and just move on to next season. It is a madness. It is what it is. Liverpool have worked very hard, but it is what it is. No, but in all seriousness, if they can finish the league, try and finish the league. try and finish the league. But in all honesty, it could be until 2021, and I don't joke.
To be fair, like,
I don't joke.
Before we went on air, obviously, the John Barnes was saying about how he said basically like there's no rush in finishing this season. Obviously, with the postponement of the Copa America and the Euros to 2021, there's no rush in finishing the season. You could let this season drag out. Yeah. You can let it drag out even towards next
August,
season. Yeah, you can even past that. You can let this season drag out until next year. It could just be longer. It also has an implication to internationals as well because it then gives all these international teams that are going to be playing in the Euros and in the Copa America, their players won't be as tired as they were before. So it has a benefit if you long out the season than you would do than if you're trying to rush it and get it all done in this small
period of time. Again, you're right. That bit I didn't even think about.
That's what I was saying.
So if you end it now, it means as soon as the virus thing is kind of died down, it's almost next season again. It's almost pre-season straight away.
And then you do that again. You haven't done a Copa America, so you do that again. Then you do that season, and then you go into the Euros and the Copa America. Man, are tired.
You've ruined it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? So and the league whenever that is, and someone was saying about the from a new sports point of view, is like towards the end of the league is gonna be it gets a bit more exciting than the beginning of the season. And imagine with all that's gone on. And then you throw in a new season when everything is just this lame, nothing to play for. But people will tune in a bit more. They're gonna be looking forward for the league to come back because they've been craving football, and there's reason to play for as well in a way. So I don't know, but that's me being massively biased maybe. But I think it's just the only and the main right way. It's got to get done fully.
But anyway, if we don't if they don't, depending on what they do, and they start a new season and they avoid it. It would be a madness, but I'm telling you now, I would be one happy. I would be one happy. At the end of the day, it's not my team, so I don't really give a shit. That's the honest truth. I'll be 100% happy at Liverpool just to be given a quick certificate. And I mean, if they want their name inscribbled on the actual Premier League title, that's not a problem. That's not a problem. But my main thing is, I do not want them to be handed the league unless they've mathematically won it. Can I finish? Can I finish? Oh, cool. Thank you. Can I finish? Can I finish? Was that disruptive? Can I finish? Am I finished? I haven't finished. I know, but I haven't finished.
I said 2 words.
I know. Let me just finish what I was going to say.
Anything you're saying.
Okay, cool.
Can
I just finish?
No.
Can I finish? You are ready to jump in.
You know why you're talking?
Ready to jump in.
Because you've drawn into an argument.
All
I said.
Do you know what I'm saying? I keep quiet when you're talking, but now it's me. And you're talking.
100% no.
Oh my
I'm not a dickhead.
You ain't even. You are. You ain't even let me finish.
No, because
you ain't even let me finish.
I spoke 2 words.
Yeah. And you said, do you think? And I was about to say something that was gonna.
And that's not disrupting your flow at all.
I never said it was. I was just saying.
Exactly. So why are you arguing when you don't think it's disrupting your flow?
No. You're. I'm talking. And you've said something. I've said just let me finish, and then you can come in and talk. Can I not do that?
Don't feel under the pressure to argue back.
I'm not arguing back with you. Let me just finish what I was going to say.
Put your fucking ego on the side, yeah?
There is no ego. Let me finish what I was going to say.
If you
just listen.
No, I won't. And I'll make my point loud and clear.
This is what you do.
You know what I mean? I do not care.
You know what I mean?
I'll make my point loud and clear. I don't care. If you... Why? If you ask me a question that's in line, I have no right and no reason. I'm not a dickhead. I'll answer your question.
You were going to jump at me. No, you didn't let me finish what I was going to say.
You've drawn this into...
And now 5 minutes later, I'm still saying to you, let me finish.
I do not give a shit.
Yeah, you say finish, I keep quiet and you talk.
I do not care about your feelings that way. It's not that deep. But if this conversation is non-existent because I said 2 words
well, and I sat back,
and then you come back. So there you go, innit? Like you just.
Okay, cool.
Was you gonna say
what I was gonna
see the certificate? Was you gonna say you wouldn't want to accept?
I asked one question. I say,
Do you feel like I'd want to be handed the league?
And
That's all I said.
literally,
That's all I said.
I was just about okay, but anyway.
So
you're fad that.
No.
It didn't need to be more than that
Because
all I was going to do is
drawing
talk.
into-
No. You said something.
Because you're not answering my question. You're there about come
You
and
say,
confront.
do you think I want to be handed
And
the
then
league?
you're about to confront.
And then I say to you,
let me finish.
And then I say to
let
you,
me finish.
let me finish.
Let me finish.
And then I was going to let you come in.
No, that's
I was
not
going to let you
how I
come
like.
in.
Because that's not how I
It
like.
is out of line.
It's not. It's
You've
not.
said something when
It's
I'm
not.
talking,
It's
and
not, though.
all I've said to you is, I said to you, shut up or anything like that. I said, just let me finish. That's all. Before you say anything,
Let me
just let me
finish.
finish.
Oh, you were. Nigga, calm down, man. Have
Right.
your say.
Anyway,
Have your say.
before
Have your say.
I was rudely interrupted. It's a madness. How mad? I say it, but anyway, I say it patiently, but next man can't say it patiently. It's a madness. All I was gonna say before I was rudely interrupted again is I don't think it would be fair for Liverpool to be handed the league if they hadn't won it mathematically. And what I was gonna say is for once, me and Bilal actually agree on something, because earlier on he did say the same thing. He doesn't want to be handed the league if Liverpool hasn't been mathematically confirmed as the Premier League winners. And that is what I was going to say. Yeah? Cool. But you can't get a word in edgeways nowadays. But anyway, obviously we're still to wait to see how the league is going to progress and finish. But yeah, it's a difficult one. It's a difficult one because I don't think the last time football was interrupted this bad was probably
during the war.
Yeah, it was during the war times, and none of us.
What do you reckon happened in times?
They stopped it.
They stopped it, I think. Well, obviously, both wars were like 4 years, so it's a madness to 4 years later to carry on the league. You know what? Some man wanted war. Some man would have been shot.
This guy we're not laughing about war.
Some man. No. Yeah, actually, some of the football they did go to war. They did go to that.
The footballers went to war.
To that war. So it's a madness. So
It's not that deep.
and yeah, and like I said, to be honest, we say about that, but we don't know how long actually this is actually going to go on until it actually finishes.
Yeah, I probably remember this summer. I think that the virus will come and normality will definitely go to some sort, but that doesn't mean like large gatherings. Maybe I'm not an expert by that means, but I'm just from what I hear and from what's
certain man wanted that carnival, man.
that's
But
that's the biggest thing, man. Notting Hill is coming.
But anyway, to finish it up, I think the league should be finished, so everything can be finished mathematically. If it's not finished, if that can't happen, then the league should be void.
Why are you pointing at me?
How do you think? No, just summarise. How do you think it should be finished? I'll just summarise.
Yeah, no, I gave my opinion. I said I think the only fairest way is the league has to end before the next season. This season has to end. Whenever that is.
Okay,
I think that's
I agree with what you
fair.
just said. Exactly, I agree with everything you just said just then. That if it's not mathematically finished, then it should be voided.
Cool.
But
Perfect.
I personally want it to be not mathematically.
Yeah, no. I want the season to be done properly.
regardless of how long it will
To be
take.
done properly. We're still chasing Chelsea. Certain man obviously going to win the league. We're still chasing fourth place. Certain man are chasing a mid-table finish. So, so anyway, until huh?
You reckon Arteta?
I don't know, but anyway, please subscribe to the channel, stay safe, and obviously we'll do our best to keep you entertained during Corona season, of course. But please subscribe to the channel, follow, share. Until next week, over and out.